Welcome back, Heartland fans. It felt like an eternity since he vanished. His memorial was a stark reality, his family shattered, and Amy's world crumbled. But now, Ty is here, alive, breathing, standing before her, as if a ghost has taken form. How can this be? Why did he stay away for so long? And most profoundly, what does this mean for Amy's heart? When Ty Borden first arrived at Heartland, all those years ago, everything shifted. He wasn't just a new hand. He became her confidant, her unwavering support, the very love of her life. Their path was never without its struggles, but it was profoundly real. They built a life together at Heartland, overflowing with affection, family, and shared dreams. Then, in an instant, it was all gone. Ty's devastating death in season 14 left Amy utterly broken. Fans grieved alongside her. No one anticipated his departure from the series so abruptly, and many found it difficult to come to terms with his absence. Yet now, in the electrifying new trailer for season 19, Ty appears, not a dream, not a fleeting memory, but in the flesh, he's alive. This singular moment has sent shockwaves throughout the entire Heartland fanbase. For years, people whispered, could Ty still be out there? Was his death a deception? Was a twist awaiting them? It was a hope most fans had finally released. But with his return, the questions multiply. Where has Ty been all these years? Why didn't he come back sooner? Especially for Amy and Lindy, his sudden reappearance ignites more than just excitement. It stirs profound emotional turmoil for every character, and especially for Amy. She wept over his grave. She painstakingly tried to move forward, and just as she began to mend, he walks through the door. This is far from a simple, joyful reunion. It's a tempest of emotions: shock, anger, boundless love, gnawing guilt, and fear, all interwoven. And what about the family? Jack, Lou, Tim, each had found their own way to reconcile with Ty's death. Some had buried their sorrow deep. Others carried the ache just beneath the surface. But not one of them ever expected him to return. Will Jack embrace him once more? Will Lou forgive his prolonged silence? And will Lindy even recognize the man who once cradled her as an infant? Ty's return doesn't merely rekindle old memories, it reshapes the present. Everything Amy painstakingly built without him, her routines, her approach to parenting, her gradual steps toward inner peace, could be shattered. This isn't solely about love finding its way back. It's about life being upended. Because when someone returns from the brink of death, nothing remains as it was. Now, with Ty standing at the gates of Heartland, the next chapter unfolds, and it will undeniably test every bond, every promise, and every heart. She was finally learning to smile without feeling her heart break. Her heart, once fragmented, had begun to beat steadily again. Amy never forgot Ty, but she discovered a way to live without him. And just when peace seemed within reach, he reappears. Now, everything she meticulously rebuilt might come crashing down. After Ty's death, Amy receded into a silence that no one could penetrate. Not even Jack's wisdom, Lou's steadfast support, or Tim's strength could reach her. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost a vital part of herself. Every corner of Heartland served as a poignant reminder of him. The barn, the sprawling pastures, the rhythmic sound of hooves. It wasn't merely pain, it was a memory she had to confront every single day. But gradually Amy learned to live once more. She transformed her heartbreak into a quiet, resilient strength. She poured her energy into Lindy, her little girl, who echoed Ty's gentle spirit and courage. Working with the horses also provided solace. Healing animals felt akin to healing herself. Fans witnessed Amy's growth, not by erasing Ty from her mind, but by cherishing what he had meant to her. Then came Nathan. He didn't attempt to fill Ty's shoes. He never rushed Amy or imposed demands. He arrived with a calm, supportive presence, a kind heart, and quiet patience. He helped with the horses, assisted with Lindy, and over time helped alleviate the heavy silence that had followed Ty's death. Amy hadn't planned on opening her heart again, but Nathan made it feel safe to breathe, safe to laugh, safe to feel something new. By the close of season 18, Amy wasn't exactly in love, but she was undeniably close. There was a subtle warmth between her and Nathan, a lingering look, a prolonged silence, a promise not yet articulated but gently understood. It was tender, fragile, and utterly real. Viewers began to ponder, Could Amy truly move forward? Now Ty is back, and with him everything Amy believed she had laid to rest returns. The love of her life, the father of her child, the man she vowed to stand beside forever, but also the hurt, the confusion, the fear. How is she expected to react, to run into his embrace, or to safeguard the new life she worked so painstakingly to build? Amy isn't the same woman Ty left behind. She's stronger, more composed and more guarded. Her love hasn't vanished, but her pain has forged her into someone new, and Ty's return doesn't erase the years she spent surviving without him. His return is a blessing, yes, but it's also a heavy burden. Now Amy faces a tempest within her own heart. One man is her past, profound, wild, unforgettable. The other is her present, steady, healing, safe. Can she choose one without devastating the other, or is she on the verge of losing both? The peace she painstakingly earned is now precarious, and the most agonizing part is that no one can make this choice for her. Nathan didn't arrive at Heartland intending to capture hearts. He wasn't a flashy character or a quick talker. In fact, most people barely noticed him at first. He kept to himself, dedicatedly worked with the horses, and never overstepped personal boundaries. But beneath his composed exterior lay something rare: patience. And that was precisely what Amy needed. He didn't try to fix her. He didn't instruct her to move on. He simply remained close when she needed company. He helped with chores when she was weary. He played with Lindy without trying to usurp Ty's place. In many ways, Nathan acted like someone who respected every facet of Amy's past. He never sought to compete with her cherished memories. He simply waited to become a part of her present. Over time, Amy's defenses began to soften. There were moments, a shared coffee, a quiet ride, a hand brushing hers, that spoke volumes without words. Nathan provided Amy the space to feel like herself again. Not Ty's widow, not a broken heart, just Amy, a woman, a mother, a partner, if she chose to be. Viewers noticed it too, the gentle rhythm between them, the way Nathan looked at her when she wasn't looking. He never tried to hasten their story. He simply became a safe haven for Amy to find respite when the burdens became too heavy. By the end of season 18, the silence between them was no longer awkward. It was brimming with unspoken meaning. But now that silence has been shattered, Ty's return completely alters Nathan's position in Amy's life. Suddenly he's no longer the quiet supporter. He's the outsider, the man who arrived later, the man who might have to retreat. And Nathan recognizes this. He sees the way Amy looks at Ty. He feels the immense weight of a love story he cannot contend with. But Nathan also knows this. He was there when Ty wasn't. He held the space that Ty had left vacant. He didn't steal Amy's heart. He waited for it. And now he must decide. Should he remain and fight for the woman he has come to love, or walk away before it utterly breaks him? The pain etched on Nathan's face will be different from Amy's. He isn't returning from death. He's standing on the precipice of it, watching something he had hoped for slip away. And yet he might still choose grace, because that is who Nathan is. He didn't pursue Amy to win her over. He stayed near because she mattered. Now his heart is on the line, and Amy might not even realize the profound loss she is about to face. When Ty vanished from Amy's life, everyone believed it was the definitive end. His death was not only sudden but heartbreaking. The grief was profound because it felt irreversible. But now, with Ty standing alive in season 19, everything has shifted. One question weighs heavily on every heart. Why did he stay away for so long? No one disappears without a compelling reason. Ty wasn't just a husband and father. He was a man of deep purpose, profoundly connected to his family. For him to walk away and allow Amy and Lindy to endure his perceived death would necessitate something extreme. So what truly transpired? Was he in peril? Was he compelled to hide? Or is there something even more sinister lurking beneath the surface? Fans have begun to theorize. Some believe Ty was involved in a secret government operation or a witness protection program. Perhaps he witnessed something dangerous during his work with wildlife, or in his past with wolves and poaching groups. Maybe he faked his death to protect Amy and Lindy. Others suggest he might have been injured and suffered amnesia, living under a different identity until his memory returned. These aren't merely fantastical notions, they stem from a place of profound desperation. People desperately want to believe that Ty didn't abandon Amy by choice. Still, there's a colder, more unsettling possibility. What if Ty left by choice? What if something within him shattered, and he genuinely believed Amy and Lindy were better off without him? Perhaps he thought his return would inflict more pain than comfort. If that's true, then his reappearance isn't just shocking, it's terrifying, because it would mean the Ty who returned isn't merely a survivor. He's a man burdened by unbearable guilt. This mystery also presents a formidable challenge for Amy. She needs answers. But what if those answers hurt more than the silence? What if Ty was out there all along and chose not to return until now? That question could create fissures even deeper than the grief she once felt. Trust is incredibly difficult to rebuild, even when love still exists. And Lindy, she was an infant when Ty died. She doesn't know the man standing before her. For her, Nathan has been the constant presence. Ty might be her biological father, but what does that truly mean after years of absence? How will she react when a stranger calls her my daughter? Ty will have to earn more than forgiveness. He'll have to re-earn his place. Jack and Lou will also have their own questions. Jack, who took on the role of guiding Amy and Lindy. Lou, who became fiercely protective of her sister's peace. They're not simply going to celebrate Ty's return. They'll demand to know where he's been, what he's concealing, and whether Amy is truly safe. This is not just a romantic twist, it's a narrative of trust, profound pain, and inescapable consequence. Ty's disappearance left deep, lingering wounds. His return may begin to heal them, but not without leaving lasting scars. There are moments when the heart is utterly bewildered, uncertain of what to feel. For Amy, this is precisely that moment. She once lived in a world where Ty was everything: her first love, her devoted partner, the father of her child. She endured the agonizing pain of losing him, and now she faces something even more daunting: learning to live with him again. For so long, Amy kept her heart carefully guarded. Every ounce of her love for Ty had been enshrined in memory, tender, sacred, and untouched. That love never perished. It became an intrinsic part of her. She raised Lindy with stories of him, with the kindness he once demonstrated, and with the enduring strength he left behind. And now, that very man, her once lost love, is here, standing before her, breathing the same air, calling her name as if time had never passed. But time has passed. Amy has changed. She had to. She became a mother on her own. She bore the weight of running Heartland, protecting Lindy and preventing her own emotions from completely fracturing her. She found ways to laugh again. She built something steady and comforting with Nathan. Perhaps not as fervent as what she shared with Ty, but stable, gentle, real. And now she stands suspended between the love she lost and the life she meticulously built. A part of her yearns to fall into Ty's arms, to erase the years of pain, to believe in the impossible, that love can return from the dead and resume exactly where it left off. But the other part of her remembers the tears, the desolate nights, the fear, the gnawing anger. She remembers learning how to be whole without him. She remembers Nathan. Nathan may not be Ty. He didn't arrive with the weight of shared history or a whirlwind romance, but he came with something Ty never had to offer: love without expectation. Nathan didn't have to contend with ghosts. He simply remained patiently, allowing Amy to draw closer when she was ready. That kind of quiet love doesn't shout, but it endures. Now every moment Amy spends near Ty is laced with complication. His voice draws her back. His eyes remind her of promises made long ago. But then there's the guilt. What about Nathan? What about Lindy's newfound normalcy? What if choosing Ty means demolishing everything she worked so tirelessly to rebuild? Even more terrifying, what if she chooses neither? Because deep inside, Amy comprehends something no one else can truly grasp. She's not the same woman Ty once loved, and he's not the same man. Time didn't freeze. It moved forward with them. Can they truly fit together again, or are they both chasing a fading memory? This isn't just about choosing between two men, it's about choosing between two versions of herself. The one who lived in fervent love and the one who learned to survive. And no matter what Amy chooses, someone will be wounded, and perhaps she will be too. Nathan knew Amy's heart was fragile when he first encountered her. He never demanded it. He never pushed. He simply stood by her side day after day, helping her to breathe again. And now, just as he has finally grown close enough to touch that heart, Ty returns. Nathan is left in a predicament no one deserves. The quiet man in the background, watching the woman he deeply cares for being torn between two lives. He doesn't speak much. That's Nathan's nature. He's never been one to demand attention or pursue things that don't rightfully belong to him, but this time, it's different. Amy does belong to him, even if only a little. She may not have articulated it aloud, but her actions did. The way she leaned on him when she was exhausted, the way she smiled at his gentle jokes, the way she didn't pull away when he stood a little too close. These weren't just fleeting moments, they were nascent beginnings. Now those beginnings are jeopardized, because how do you compete with a legend? Ty isn't merely a man to Amy, he's a potent symbol of first love, of shared dreams, of a life tragically cut short. Nathan understands this, and he also understands that even if Amy loves him back, a part of her will always gaze at Ty with a heart that vividly remembers. So what does Nathan do now? He could walk away, spare himself the pain, release Amy, and pretend it never hurt. It would be simpler. No need for angry words or messy emotions, just a clean departure. But Nathan isn't that kind of man. He doesn't love like that. When he gives his heart, he stays, even when it's breaking. Or perhaps he could fight. Tell Amy exactly what she means to him. Remind her of the evenings they spent watching Lindy play, of how they worked side by side, mending fences, training horses, and slowly building something strong and quiet. Maybe he could finally say it now, though he's always held back. I love you. But even that feels perilous. Because what if Amy hears those words and still turns back to Ty? Then there's the most difficult choice of all, waiting. Waiting to see who Amy becomes amidst this storm. Waiting to see if her heart finds its way back to him on its own. No pressure, no guilt, just unwavering faith. It's the kind of patience only a truly strong man possesses. And Nathan might be that strong, but even strong men can only wait for so long before the silence becomes deafening. This love triangle isn't about who is better, it's about who is willing to hold on, even when they are already losing. Nathan stands at the precipice of heartbreak, but whether he walks away, steps forward, or simply stands still, his next move could determine everything. And deep down he knows that no matter what he chooses, pain is inevitable. No matter what Amy chooses, the world she knew is already irrevocably altered. The life she painstakingly rebuilt after Ty's death cannot remain untouched now that he's back. And the man who helped her survive that pain, Nathan, may never be the same again. This isn't merely the commencement of a new chapter, it's the collision of two timelines, forcing everyone to decide what comes next. There is no easy resolution here. If Amy follows her heart back to Ty, it won't be as simple as resuming where they left off. Trust needs rebuilding. The lost years cannot be erased. Ty will have to account for his prolonged silence, and Amy will have to confront the guilt of even considering someone else. They'll both have to determine if what they shared is robust enough to be reconstructed, or if it was only perfect because it ended too soon. But if Amy turns toward Nathan, it signifies closing a door on a love that once defined her. It means telling Ty that the woman he returned for no longer exists, that she evolved and her heart grew in a different direction. And that choice will hurt not just Ty, but everyone who believed in the old love story. It's not a betrayal, it's evolution. But that kind of truth leaves scars. And there's a third path. The one no one discusses. The path where Amy chooses neither, where she remains with Lindy, alone, continuing to heal, finding herself before committing her heart again. She's been so many things. A grieving widow, a brave mother, a quiet fighter. Perhaps now she becomes something entirely new, a woman who doesn't need to be defined by a choice between two men. The future is wide open, but also profoundly uncertain. What will Jack say when Amy makes her decision? Will Lou stand by her no matter the cost? And what about Lindy? Will she comprehend? Or will the shifting emotions of the adults around her shape her in ways no one can yet foresee? One thing is abundantly clear. Heartland is about to embark on its most emotionally charged season yet. Season 19 won't just test the resilience of its characters, it will test the hearts of every fan watching, because in the end this story was never just about horses or even just about love. It's about healing, about discovering light after the darkest night, about learning that sometimes the hardest part isn't losing someone, it's learning to live when they return. The decision is imminent, and once Amy chooses, nothing will ever truly be the same. Ty's return has transformed everything. What was once a story of healing is now a story of profound conflict, agonizing choice, and raw emotional truth. Amy stands at a crossroads between the man who shaped her past and the one who quietly supported her present. Nathan, Ty, Lindy, the family. Every relationship now hangs precariously in the balance. Season 19 promises not just surprises, but deep emotional decisions that could alter Heartland forever. What would you choose? First love or newfound peace? This isn't merely about romance. It's about identity, trust, and the elusive nature of second chances. And only time will tell.